The Dubai floods that crippled activities for days, the flooding in Oman that left 20 people dead, and the flooding in the south of Uruguay which left about 2,000 people homeless after the Santa Lucia Chico River reached record highs. These and other disasters have been linked to climate change.
Shouldn't come as a surprise, especially with the climate change, as we'll continue to see increased situation where the wet areas will become wetter and the dry areas will become dry. And that is what we're expecting. I will continue to expect more as the climate continues to change and we see changes in weather patterns.
There's intense heat. When there is intense heat, there is high rate of evaporation. And as a balance, again, what happens is it's going to eventually fall as rain. So when there is high evaporation, of course, when it's falling as rain, it's going to also be very, very heavy.
Experts say the burning of fossil fuels is driving up global temperatures and causing more extreme weather, including storms and floods.
Human activities from emissions, from industries, from farmlands, from homes. So there are certain gases, we call them greenhouse gases, that are released from this nature of activities which causes the globe or the earth to warm.
Meanwhile, coastal areas like Lagos are finding themselves underwater. Extreme weather, sea level rise, and other climate change impacts are increasingly to blame.
Globally, countries that either never used to experience harsh weather conditions are experiencing same. United Kingdom, the US, lots of countries in Europe and Asia. So we can't say Nigeria will be an exception. Lagos being a coastal state, 1/3 of our land mass is water. We can't be an exception. So we, like I've often said, we must learn to live with our environment because the environment is the master of man.
Lagos and generally Nigeria, we all generally use generating sets as alternative source of power supply because we don't have constant power supply. And these are very significant emitters of greenhouse gases.
With world leaders taking action against climate change, President Bola Tinubu, among other programs and policies aimed at tackling climate change, established the Presidential Committee on Climate Action and Green Economic Solutions. In Lagos, the state government, apart from initiating its 5-year climate action plan, began cleaning up drainage infrastructure and making them more resilient and banned styrofoams to reduce plastic pollution. With all these efforts, Nigerians must also take action.
We are the inhabitants of this earth and we must take care of it. It's just like asking what does your human activities have to do with your house, where you live. If you don't take care of your house, you're surely going to lose that house. And that is what is happening to our earth today.
Like we're technically standing under this excruciating heat right now. People are trying, to go through the sustainable route. Like now we have the likes of Tesla making, chargeable cars. Although they're expensive as of now, although we believe that as time goes on, the more there's mass production, the cheaper, something becomes.
The scientists will do their work, but there's a lot that has to do with policies, there's a lot that has to do with behavioral patterns as well. For instance, it's difficult to say people should no longer use generating sets if we don't have alternative sources of power for them. And so there's a lot for government to do, there's a lot for industries and private sector to do. There's also a lot for international intergovernmental agencies to do to support developing countries to reducing what we call their carbon footprint.
No doubt, human activities are driving global warming. It may be a difficult task to convince people to give up habits in order to protect the environment. But with persistent climate change communication, awareness and action, it is possible. Bukola, LTV News.